Alright, I guess there we are.
やっぱり女の子が多いと花があるわね。
夕飯後のまったり空気の中、おばさまが頬に手を当ててため息をついた。
みずきちゃんやちひろちゃんを見てるといつも思うんだけど、もう一人くらい子供欲しいな、女の子。
なるほど、レンジ君の妹さんですか。
レンジの妹というか、私が産まなくても私の子供という立場の女の子が現れる可能性はあるんだけどね。
そうなんですか。世の中にはいろいろなことがあるんですね。何に納得しているのかわからないが、千尋先輩がうなずく。二人とも色っぽいな。私だけが花というか、食べられる野草？
孫でもいいんだけど。
孫ですか？
そう、おばあちゃんって呼ばれるの。夢があると思わない？
すごく無理がありますよね。私もそう思います。
そうかしら。
千尋先輩と顔を見合わせて笑ってしまった。明日がテストというレンジが部屋に閉じこもっているので、これはこれで女性のみの場だから可能な会話かもしれない。千尋先輩がお泊まりというのも理由の一つだろう。お母さんか。私はしみじみとつぶやく。お母さん、どうかしましたか？なんでもないっ
す。そういえばみずきちゃん、結局おとといは何があったの？
気を使ってくれたのか、おばさまが話題を変えた。その話も微妙だけど、いやはや。とりあえず泣いちゃったこととかご褒美の部分は恥ずかしすぎるから、そこを抜きにして簡単に説明する。そっか。おばさまはそれだけつぶやいて微笑んだ。
でもよかったわ、久世さんのバイオリンが無事で。
無事かどうかわかりませんけど、かなり容赦なく蹴っ飛ばしたので、どうなっていることか。
でもあんなに高いものを燃やそうとね。踏ん切りだったのかしら。
やっぱり高いんですか？
前に聞いたら、知り合いの知り合いから破格の値段で売ってもらえて、
Oh, wow.
110万くらいで済んだとか言ってたかな。
いやいや、そんなものですか。ちょっと安心した。バイオリンってもっと高いと思ったけど、万が一の場合でもなんとか弁償できそうな感じかも。
Wait, what? How would she be able to pay him back?
ごめんなさい、単位は日本円じゃなくてドルとかユーロ。
庭付きの家が楽勝で買えますね。思わずドリフみたいに倒れそうになってしまった。ストラなんとかですか？
ストラディバリウスね。それが一番有名だけど、久世さんのはガルネリウスだったかしら。
さっぱりわからない魔法のような単語だ。
A magic word. Oh, that's cute.
めまいが。お菓子がどれくらい買えるんだろう。大雑把に1ドル100円として、コンビニの100円ソフトクリームが110万個買えますね。それって死ぬまでに食べきれるのかな。1日1個ずつとして、年を単位にするから単純に365で割って、うわ、ダメだ。食べ終わるのに3000年以上かかる。
cute.
二人とも比較対象が小さすぎて話が壮大になっちゃってるわよ。
アンチ庶民派だ。よく買えるな。
久世さんの実家は大きな会社をやってたはずよ。
そうなんですか？
半分くらい感動されちゃってるらしいけどね。
どうしてですか？
長男だったのに会社を継がずにバイオリニストですからね。財産を生前分与してもらって楽器を買ったって話だし宝刀息子ってやつでしょ。
おかしそうにおばさまが口元に手を当てた。私はちょっとだけ考える。あの人帰る家がないんだ。
レンジもそのくらいわんぱくでもいいのにね。
すみれさんが意
Hey,
味
Game
深な視
Fixer,
線を千尋先輩に向けた。
How you doing? Hope things are alright.
そんなことするくらいなら今のままでいいと思います。千尋先輩は真顔で否定した。3人での話は盛り上がったが、午後9時を過ぎたところで場がお開きになった。千尋先輩が眠そうな感じだったのだ。私は歯を磨いた後、なんとなく表に出た。
Yeah, I think I feel you in a sense because I had a very tiring day as well. But at least nothing is bad. Things are alright. It was just a lot of back and forth and it was mentally exhausting. So I'm just chilling or trying to. I almost dozed off on the couch before starting stream, so that's kind of the vibe that I got going on. Yeah, but things are alright. Things are falling into place little by little. I hope it's the same for you.
星が綺麗。夜風に吹かれながら空を見上げてため息をつく。空気が澄んでいるせいか、驚くほど多くの星が見える。2分ほどぼんやり。
Getting better, yes. I'm happy to hear that. Keep at it, and things will go. You know, not great, not fantastic, maybe. Who knows? But at least they will go.
そして私は久世さんの家のチャイムを押した。返事はない。3回鳴らしても出てこない。ノブに触れてみるが回らなかった。この扉に鍵がかかっているのは初めてだ。拒絶されたと感じるのは感傷だろうか。まだ帰ってきていないだけ。それだけ。昨日約束したのに、また明日って言ったのに。ドアに額をくっつけて恨み事を残してやる。仕方ない。仕方ないよね。ずっと一緒にいられるわけじゃない。私は笑顔を浮かべて、ちょっと早いけど寝ることにした。千尋先輩が寝ているベッドに潜り込む。さすがにまだ起きているらしく、先輩が私のためのスペースを作ってくれる。こんなに健康的な就寝時間は久しぶりだ。明日は早く起きて久世さんの家に行ってみようと思った。千尋先輩、少しだけおしゃべりしてもいいですか？はい。背中に千尋先輩の温かさがある。同じシャンプーとコンディショナーの匂いがする。レンジのこと好きですか？夏の夜はやっぱりワイダンです。私はくすりと笑う。
Late night girl talk, hell yes.
暗い暗い部屋の中、うっすらと月の光が差し込んでいる。千尋先輩に抱きつきたくなったがやめた。多分そういうことしない方がいい。ワイダン？恋の話です。なるほど。宮子先輩も K 先輩もみんな好きな人ができたんです。はい。千尋先輩が静かにつぶやく。K 先輩の話は聞き知っているのだろう。少しだけ二人とも声を出さない時間があった。
レンジ君のことは好きです。
はい。千尋先輩の言葉を真似る。優しい響き。やっぱりそうなんだ。
でも
その後が続かない。
Double news today, time to celebrate. Oh, Kevin, you're too kind. I'm sorry though, today I have no cam. But yeah, Clinton, hey. Nice to see you. Hope things are going alright for everybody.
レンジなら大丈夫ですよ。
優しいからですね。
はい。
だから困ります。ずっと考えてるけど答えが出ません。
Well, I'm glad you can still see it as a positive, Kevin. Oh, bless your heart. You guys are too kind to me.
もぞもぞと千尋先輩が動く。
いえ、答えは出てるんです。何度も何度も。
ダメですか？
私ではレンジ君を幸せにはできません。
半年前と同じ言葉。これをレンジは聞いたのか。悲しいと私が思うのはいけないのだろうか。そんなことないですよ。好きな人に好きだと言えることはきっとすっごく幸せです。なぜかそんな言葉が口に出た。私は久世さんが好きです。唇の感触を思い出す。だから一緒に頑張りましょう。千尋先輩からの答えはない。なんて薄っぺらい言葉だろう。それでも願う。私は祈る。幼い日に冬の教会で祈りを捧げていた女性を思い出す。どうしたらみんなが幸せになれるんだろう。
Right, we're back to Shuichi's perspective. Sorry about today. First thing after returning home from the hospital, I spoke comfortably in the center of my well-lit room.
別に。
A blunt response came from my rear. Yu circled to my front and surveyed the room. He was probably trying to find something to be displeased with. Now, he might have been trying to find some good omen.
どうすっかな。
How about you go home for today and take it easy? You got Chihiro to take care of as well. That's nice once in a while.
そうだな。
Isn't Chihiro staying over? Or... He spoke briefly. Then he looked at me for the first time since entering.
なんか俺に言いたいことあるか？
Next time you come, buy a calendar for me.
カレンダー？
He squinted and sighed. Did he get the joke? He just sighed and shook his head.
なあ、クゼ。
He stared at me. I took him head on and waited for what he was going to say.
怖くないのか？
That was surprising. I smiled. You're asking me that now?
今頃だからだ。
He grinned when he spoke. I looked at my own hands. They were trembling. I couldn't perform in this condition. Of course I am.
笑いながら言うんじゃねえよ。
I saw him off with a smile and a wave. The door shut. The The soundproof room became peaceful. I heard something strange. I wondered what it could be. The sound moved with me when I looked around. A laugh escaped my throat. The sound was my own breathing. Rough. My tense muscles became limp. The strength left my legs and I went down on my knees. My eyes hurt. I held back the nausea welling up inside me. I broke into a cold sweat. My hair clung to my forehead and my shirt stuck to my skin. I continued to stare at a single spot on the floor. That single spot was dyed with my trickling sweat. Until the throbbing of my heart and dizziness subsided, I tried to keep my eyes as still as possible and not think. Was I scared? Don't ask me something so stupid. Wasn't it obvious? I'm not frigid. I groaned as I tasted stomach acid on my tongue. Honestly, this wasn't a joke. I wanted to ask a favor of that guy above the clouds. Hey, I'm begging you. Please, let me die as a human.
時計の進み方がいつもより遅い気がした。夏の日の正午前、私は穏やかな空気の中でそわそわしていた。千尋先輩はとりあえずと帰ってしまった。洗濯を済ませた後、私は手持ち無沙汰にソファーに座って時計を眺めている。そんなに暇なら千尋先輩を引き止めればよかったのにと自分につぶやく。いや、理由は分かっている。久世さんのところに行きたい。だけどおばさまにそれを言ったら止められるだろう。無断外泊2回に続けて風邪をひいてしまうだなんて。昨日までは久世さんに会う理由があったのに。これ以上迷惑をかけてしまうこともできず、これ以上彼に会うことを許されるとは思えず、かといって嘘もつけず、どうしよう。はう。久世さんのことを考えると自然とおとといのなんであんなことをしてしまったのだろう。もう恥ずかしいな。思い出しただけで頬と首筋が熱くなる。あくびをしながらおばさまが居間にやってきた。おはようございます。
もうすぐお昼だから、こんにちは。
寝ぼけた感じの口調でもしっかりと礼儀を守った挨拶をくれる。
みずきちゃん、お昼ご飯食べた？
はい、さっき適当に済ませました。
そう、ごめんね。今日から私もお休みだから家族サービスしようと思ったのに。
おばさまが肩を落としたままため息をつく。
年かしらね。
お疲れでしょうから、ゆっくり休んでいてください。
もう目が覚めたから大丈夫。午後から一緒にお買い物にでも行きましょうか。
その…私は時計に目をやる。もうすぐ長針と短針が重なる。
はあ、そんなこと気にしてたの。
視線を追っておばさまが笑みをこぼした。何ですか？
いいえ、ちょっと休養を思い出しただけ。
驚いて顔を上げるとおばさまは頬に手を当てて困ったわねとかつぶやいていた。
ごめんなさい、今日も一緒にいられなくなっちゃったみたい。一人で大丈夫？
問いかけ。はい、大丈夫です。
本当に？
大丈夫だと思いますけど。
本当に一人で大丈夫？
おばさまは録音でもしているように同じことを尋ねてくる。ようやく気づいた。一人だといろいろ危ないかなとかあったりなんだり。
I was so slow, I didn't catch it.
そう。じゃあ誰か大人の人と一緒にね。
ありがとうございます。私は心の底から頭を下げる。
みずきちゃん、
はい。
頑張ってね。
頑張ってきます。くぜさん。
I could hear her habitually energetic voice overlapping with the creak of the door opening. She didn't knock or ring the bell. Wait, give me a sec. Did I lower the music back down? No. I left it for the violin and then it just stayed that way. Okay. There we go. That's a little bit better. She didn't knock or ring the bell. Did she predict I left it unlocked? Maybe she didn't realize anything at all. Hey, Beatrice! Good evening. How's it going? Her energy just might have been contagious. I cheered up just a little. Morning.
もうこんにちはですよ。
She gave me a delightful smile. She didn't bring up the incident with the violin or the kiss from the other day. She was really the same as always.
なんだかこうやって落ち着いて話すのが久しぶりのような気がします。
Not since the time you came to play at midnight, I guess.
ああ、もうそんなになるんですね。
I felt nostalgic even though it was only a few days ago. So what's up with you today, Mizuki-chan?
何もどうしたこともないのですが、用事がなきゃ来ちゃダメですか？
She looked up at me innocently. She was like a dog entrusting me with its care. Should I stop teasing her? Mizuki-chan, come here a second.
はい。
She took a few steps and shortened the distance between us. Oh, I'm hiding and lurking in the shadows, Beatrice. I'm sorry. Today was incredibly taxing in terms of mental effort. So I'm a little bit drowsy and things. I even almost... Oh, Clinton with the Italian. Very cute. Yeah, I almost even dozed off on the couch before starting stream, so that's kind of like my general state of being. And yeah, sorry, today I skipped the cam. Won't happen next time, promise, promise, promise. The atmosphere was full of anxiety and expectation, but I just wanted to check her complexion. You look like you're in good shape.
ああ、バッチシカンカンですよ。
Words alone were insufficient, so she waved her arms.
クゼさんの愛のこもったソフトクリームのおかげですね。
It's actually bad for you to eat cold things and bring down your temperature when you have a fever, though. Is it? The Queen of Reactions broke into tears.
分かってて持ってきたんですか？
It's household level medical knowledge, but an unexpectedly large amount of people seem to think the opposite.
もう真正面から全力投球で毒じゃないですか。
Even so, when you have a fever, it makes no difference as long as it's delicious. I tried to hold her back.
美味しかったですけど、わざわざ言わなくても。ルルル。
She's so cute. Yes, yes. Quite the charm. I was relieved that she really did seem better. By the way, how are Chihiro and Sumire?
千尋先輩は家に帰ったのと、おばさまは今日はゆっくりするそうですよ。
Oh, how much did she know? Mizuki's at such an impressionable age, even. She probably knew about 90%, but was clueless on the remainder. Well, that's good. I murmured as I stretched. So, will you be accompanying me again today?
よろしければ
Words of restraint don't suit you at all.
一緒に遊びやがれすっとこどっこいとか
Yes, yes. We both laughed. Oh? Wait, did I miss something yesterday in chat? Sorry, when was this? What was this related to? It was really fun. It had most definitely been a while.
というか久世さんは最近何をしてたんですか
I've been thinking about you all this time. She was so surprised she shook her body like a cat.
さらりと恥ずかしいこと言いますね
Sorry if it gives you any expectations, but I haven't been thinking of anything else. I thought it was cold, but I told her my problem of choice. Thinking of anything else just left me depressed. I didn't have much time left. In other words, it was give or take. Wanna go on a walk?
大丈夫なんですか
She peered at my face. Her voice sounded uneasy. I can't move around too much, but the doctor said I should still exercise a little. I recited that lie rather composedly.
じゃあ公園まで行ってのんびりしましょうか
Ah, okay. Okay. I see. But, you know, I wouldn't have put it past me to miss it because I can be like that sometimes. So that's why I had a little bit of a panic moment. But cool, nice. Or I mean, not that nice that he didn't know how to pronounce it, although I don't know if I pronounce it right myself. So still, the Italian was a nice touch because indeed Romanian and Italian are very similar, so especially in that greeting. So it all connected. It made sense. Can I make a quick stop on the way? I opened the door to my closet. I took the violin out of its spare case and presented it to Mizuki with an ambiguous expression. I need to get this repaired. It was obvious that it was the middle of summer. The cicadas were singing energetically. There was a unique scent coming from the hot stone pavement. It's wicked hot.
体調が悪かったら無理しないでくださいね
She didn't sound calm at all. Yeah.
疲れたらどこかで休んでいきましょうね
Yeah.
ゆっくりと歩きましょう
Yeah. I'm not a vampire, I'm fine. It'll take more than this to make me collapse.
前に倒れました
It depends how you expect to read the first part. Okay. But I've never really had an opinion on either side of that. Like, it's just how names sound in Italian. But I suppose when you select a specific language to talk in, name pronunciation and other things can be kind of switched to that language as well. Now you're making me self-conscious about it. Okay, I'm not gonna say it. Leave me alone. I know how it would sound in Italian, but I didn't think it would be the pronunciation of choice. I don't know. Even you said it. It sounds so awkward to me. Okay, well then maybe you can borrow the Japanese pronunciation of Beatorisu. There you go. That one I can pronounce. I guess so. As one might expect of someone in the arts, this was no worse than running on too little sleep. Well, I never overdo it.
そうですか？
Probably? A total lie.
私って
Becky.
邪魔じゃないですかね。
As long as she's alright with that. Perhaps. Another lie.
何ですかおそらくって。
You're too cute, so I occasionally want to defile or break you. What?
は？
It seemed to take her a moment to get the meaning. No matter how she reacted, I just kept a half-baked expression.
何ですかそれ。
I didn't mean it like that. I cackled. This was for real. That really was the meaning. This conversation isn't interesting, so let's stop. I'm so confused, I don't understand what he means there, but I
同感で
guess...
す。もっと色っぽい話がいいです。
Okay. She was sulking. Then, just as quickly, she smiled as though something came to mind and disappeared behind my back. With an enthusiastic shout, her short body collided into my back.
クゼさんの匂いがする。
I am a bit bothered by this angle, though. Like, why did it have to be this angle? I looked down at the hands around my waist. She was even rubbing her forehead against me. Like, the gesture is cute. They could have just kept it cute. You hugged Chihiro too, but aren't you hot?
暑いかもしれませんが、人に触れられると気持ちいいです。抱きしめるのも、人に抱きしめられるのも、暖かくて柔らかくて気持ちいいから。
It's a trap. Don't stare too hard at the booty. I'm looking at the text, so in a way, I don't know. I'm in the area. Okay, I'm sorry.
そう思いませんか？
Okay, thank you. Thank you. She trotted back to my side with a full smile. Recharging and CPR, huh? Well, touching and being touched by girls isn't bad either.
そうですよ。
That thing out of context sounds so... Oh my god. Can't you just have a normal conversation, guys? But you're like a puppy.
犬は苦手なんですけどね。
Right. It's like che, right? It's because it's kind of the same in Romanian as well. I'm just not sure. It would be like Beatrice or something like that, right? See, I said it. I don't know. Did I mess it up? Really?
なんで驚いてるんですか？
She must not have gotten what I was hinting at, and mysteriously tilted her head. I don't get what you're hinting at most of the time, Kuze-san. I'm so confused. Renji was this way too. Had everyone picked this habit up from Chihiro? I guess I'm in the same club as them, though. Ah, I did it right. Okay, cool. Should I call it like... I mean, should I pronounce it like this from now on? Is that what you prefer? No, you just give off an aura like you would like them.
犬はですね。子供の頃に追いかけられて以来、どうも苦手でして。
You were chased.
なんか寄ってくるんですよね。
Yeah, I empathize with this. To the bottom of my being, I was also chased by dogs when I was little, and to this day, I am not comfortable passing by dogs on the street, especially since we have a lot of stray dogs around. It kind of scares me, especially if they're like the bigger kind of dogs. I'm like, I'd rather be on the other side of the road, even though I don't need to cross. I'm just gonna cross, like. You do your thing, doggo. I'm just gonna do my thing on the other side of the road. The English way is fine. Okay. You were bullied by a dog. Oh no, what happened? You were bullied by a chicken. Okay, I can imagine that. Did the chicken have little chicks? Because that's when they get super aggressive. And also by a duck. I thought geese were the more aggressive kind. Ducks have always been super chill to me. They were all temporary pets. Alright. That's so. I hid my smile. They really were the same race. As we played around, the shop I regularly contracted my home deliveries to came into view. It was no ordinary delivery service. It dealt with works of art, antiques, and musical instruments. Well, it was fairly expensive. A private specialty merchant. Maybe you gave off a weak vibe back then? No, I'm just recanting my experiences on the countryside at my grandparents' place. And they had all sorts of animals. Never had a problem with ducks. Chicken were always fine, except when they had their own little chicks. So they were like hens with their chicks, and you just had to be in the area and they would like suddenly get all mama hen on you. Like you didn't have to even do anything or appear menacing. You were just like off on your business, just passing through the courtyard, and they would like suddenly get triggered by whatever. There would always be geese outside. Just like some people would let their geese just go outside on the road and walk around, which is, by the way, a dirt road. It's not necessarily like, you know, the kind of road where cars pass. It's kind of just countryside vibe there. And so they would be around, and if I was also walking around the road, again, just by passing in the area, sometimes they would just like all get triggered and chase you like in a flock. And it was weird. Scary sometimes. Dogs, I was chased once by a dog in the city around the building where I lived, because again she had puppies and she got spooked by something. Again, I was just passing by. I was just a little kid. I got so scared. And also I was chased by dogs on the countryside, because they were kind of like the dogs that you keep around the house, and they just like bark at everything. But I don't know. Again, I was just passing by on the road with my grandma, and one of the houses that we were passing by had their gate open, and the dog came out and just suddenly decided to chase me. I didn't do anything, but it was a scary experience. It wasn't a big dog, but it was still scary. So, yeah. Aw, Clinton was tiny. I see. The image of tiny Clinton is cute, yes, I agree. Being bullied by animals is not that cute, though. I'm so sorry. I want you to know that I feel your pain. Alright, so what was the context here? I'm so confused. So as we played around, the shop I regularly contracted my home deliveries to came into view. It was no ordinary delivery service. It dealt with works of art, antiques, and musical instruments. Well, it was fairly expensive. A private specialty merchant. Okay, I see. Wait just a second.
はい。
Oh, slang for the rabbit. I was small and fast. It's cute.
治りますかね?
She seemed nervous. I had just finished taking care of the delivery and service procedures. I wonder, I won't even know if it's broken or not until a specialist takes a look at it. I answered in as light a tone as possible.
あれから弾いてないんですか?
Right. I would know immediately if I tried playing it, though. That day was the last time. I can't play it anymore.
どうしてですか?
I betrayed the violin. Those cold words were a surprisingly strong blow to my mind. Her questions ended on that note. She was at least that delicate. So I too smiled buoyantly. So I'll give it to you.
What?
I thought she might have that sort of reaction. She looked up at me confused. When the violin comes back, I'll give it to you in commemoration.
Huh?
Funny that this was the one thing significant enough to get that reaction from her.
1億円を超えてるんですよ!
Oh, there might be a tax if I give it to you, huh? It should sell for a ridiculously good price, though.
そういうことじゃなくて!
In the first place, the bow that's gone now was worth over 1 million yen.
そっちは忘れてた!
The value isn't a problem. I made a smile. Money is meaningless when you're facing down death, no matter how much. If not for you, that violin would have disappeared from this world.
それでももらえませんよ。
Why?
あれは久世さんそのものですから。
She repeated what she said at the beach. My heart sped up a little. For some reason I was angry despite not having that ability. Take a breath. Calm down. Submerge the angry Shuichi Kuze to my core. It's fine. Besides, if I hold on to it, I might try to burn it again.
なんであんなに高いものを燃やすんですか？
My eyes escaped to the sky. The dazzling sunlight made me squint. I just thought that was appropriate. This was Ottawa after all. I just thought it should come to an end in a fire. It was in the spirit of a childish prank, like setting paper on fire with a magnifying glass in the summer. Does that even work? I always thought it was just like ridiculous thing that they just put in cartoons. Besides, if that violin is really my essence, I really do want you to accept it. Aww. We reached the park and I took a breath. Although I might have looked calm, a storm of self-hatred was raging in my mind. I wanted to be nice to her today, but it really wasn't going well. I'm really awkward when I try to keep love platonic. Before I knew it, I was holding my temple and groaning.
何か言いました？
No, nothing. I took another breath and stood still. We came to the park, but what should we do?
いかんともしがたいですね。ここ何もないですから。
She really hadn't planned anything? She looked around nearby and muttered with a serious face. Should we take a break for now?
そうですね。
I'll rest here so you can go catch some grasshoppers or butterflies over on that lawn if you want. What? How old do you think she is? Ah, okay, she's excited by it. Okay, fine. I take that back.
だからそんな子供じゃないですってば。
I tried to take her by surprise, but her quips were simply superb. There's really nothing to do.
世間話しましょうよ。普通のなんでもないどうでもいいそれでも楽しい世間話を。
Us gossiping. Even if I let my life flash before my eyes, I didn't think I had any common gossip. If you took music from me, I had nothing else to talk about in any meaningful way. What a shock. I nonchalantly gazed in the direction of the ocean. I missed my chance to hear it the other day, but her reason for being afraid of the ocean probably wasn't something that would fall under gossip. It was a rare occurrence, so I wanted to play with her for at least a day without worrying about bothering her. What are you good at cooking?
お味噌汁です。
This was turning into some sort of marriage interview. So I tried to break the ice with a joke, but her reply was quite splendid. You're clearly the funny one in this duo.
この場合自覚があるのが厄介ですよね。はあ
We both let out serious sighs. If I called Renji or Chihiro here... Nah, what will I do if the number of comedians increases? Nothing. Without thinking, I sent a quip her way. Wait, this was the same thing. If it were you, he'd probably respond immediately. Yeah, let's stop pushing it after all.
そうですね。普通に行きましょうか。
Oh, is school fun? I finally found a common base.
やっぱりお見合いみたいですよ。
She chuckled and puffed out her chest.
学校は楽しいです。勉強はそりゃ面白くはないですけど、仲のいい友達がいますし、尊敬できる先輩もいます。
Now that you mention it, I think I heard this while you were talking to Chihiro and Renji. Don't you talk to more upperclassmen than friends your age?
そうかもしれませんね。
Is there something to that?
いえ、単に顔の広い先輩が近くにいたので、自然とそうなっただけだと思いますけど。
Well-known senpais. Cute. She brought a finger to her lips and looked away cutely.
でも、確かに言われてみれば、 年上の人に惹かれやすいかも。
You think? I could see where this was going, so I tried to act differently.
もうあと5秒くらい鈍感でいてくださいよ。
I don't know what you're talking about. I let out a yawn with my smile still up.
久世さん、昨日はよく寝ましたか？
Yeah, I did. I just dropped dead on the floor, actually. Thanks to you, my rhythm of life has been random lately, so I dropped before I knew it.
でも眠いんですよね。
A little. It was probably because I hadn't been moving around, but it was unrelated to my fatigue in the first place. My sleep had become shallow lately. It was also probably due to the bad dream I always had. But I wouldn't go that far, really.
でも確かにお昼寝するにはうってつけですよね。
She looked around her, then nodded happily. I had a very bad premonition. I surveyed the park once again. Families and couples were... Wait, there were some lovebirds sleeping on the other's lap on the lawn. I refuse.
ああいう膝枕なんて恥ずかしくてやってられませんよねと言おうとしたので、それを拒否されるとしないといけません。
A complex smile came to her face. The rest would be cowardice.
むしろ久世さんのフライング負けです。
She guided me and started walking on her
あの
own.
辺の日陰になってる場所にしましょう。
Oh man. I could more or less understand the mindset of a father taking out his family on a Sunday.
じゃあ張り切って寝てください。
That's unreasonable.
拒否する場合は私の方から死ぬほど抱きつきます。
Seriously?
マジっす。
That would hurt.
肉体的な痛みがいいようでしたら、先輩直伝のレバーブローで地面に転がしてもいいですけど。
Alright, I'm going to sleep eagerly. Talk about shameful. She just beat me in physical strength. If I pushed it, I could probably hold her back, but if I went into a spasm from doing something so stupid, she'd start crying. And hey, what kind of senpai would give her the idea of a lever blow? Probably Kay. You have a strange way of laughing.
いいんですよ。なんかこうしてると女として勝った気がします。
I thought about plunging into the meaning of the word woman, but I was scared of a counterattack in this position. Well, the smell of the lawn and the blowing of the wind, and the view of the blue sky beyond Mizuki weren't bad. But people would get irritated if they see this.
微笑ましいですよ。
Well, seeing me sleep on someone else's lap with such a difference in age and physique. What a joke. Can I get up after all?
耳かきとか持ってくればよかったですね。
What? We're really like idiots.
気持ちいいですか？
You're a little short on cushioning, aren't you?
寝なさいって言ってるのにいちいちうるさいですね。音楽家のくせにロマンチックじゃないです。
Ah, that was some jumbled logic. She looked annoyed. That's because I retired.
それじゃあ一般人らしく恋人っぽくできないんですか？
We're not lovers.
恋人になっちゃダメですか？
The music stopped too. Her light-hearted smile suddenly turned serious. I want to be clear on one thing. I'm going to die, and that's no joke.
知ってます。
You don't seem to understand.
理解させてもらえませんか？
She really wasn't running away. Why was she so foolish yet so strong? Someday, that might become fatal. That would also come before long. Man, it was finally a day of doing nothing, too.
ごめんなさい。でもやっぱり普通に振る舞おうとする方が普通じゃありませんよ。
She combed through my hair with a calm smile like I saw once before. That's true. That was exactly right. I had given up. Imitating Renji from before, I said it as lightly as possible. I relaxed all the muscles in my body and leisurely enjoyed the cool shade of the tree. I can only be like this now. Even though it may look like I'm leading a content life, I'm doing nothing but taking medicine.
どんな病気なんですか？
It's a degeneration of the heart muscle similar to dilated cardiomyopathy. There are also complications with the accompanying blood vessels and my other internal organs. Do you understand?
わかるわけないじゃないですか。
Yeah. I looked into it as well, but it was too difficult to understand. I gave up since it seemed like knowing would just make things worse.
クラシックみたいですね。考えるんじゃなくて感じるんだって。
Huh. Yeah. I blurted that out without thinking. Was it hearsay? She probably used that latter half without knowing who it was from. Classical music and Bruce Lee. It's the best.
すぐに入院することになるんですか？
Well, I've managed to evade that so far. It seems to be a rare case. They want to study it and hospitalize me immediately.
そこまで悪いんですか？
I think so myself, but it doesn't look that way. There are no obvious changes such as throwing up blood. There might be a lot of instances of me getting exhausted all of a sudden, or getting dizzy or nauseous. I didn't hide the smile on my face. I was well aware of my own masochism. However, the spasms, I don't know if they're due to heart failure or an irregular pulse, but there's no particular sign for when they'll happen. I won't be able to leave if I'm hospitalized even once, so I want to settle everything myself until the very last moment.
生産。バイオリンですか？
That was the last thing. I burned the violin there. That should have been the end of Shuichi Kuze. I looked back at this last half year in an attempt to get my mind off it. First, I put all my human relations in order. It was all clean. There was someone who separated from me due to their own illness, though. Then I took care of my business relations, processed the legal documents for after my death. Well, lots of stuff.
一つ余計なことを聞いてもいいですか？
Go ahead. I half knew what was coming, so I just closed my eyes and waited for it. I probably had to. It was a little... I didn't think I could stand it.
久世さんには最近まで付き合ってた人がいたんじゃないですか？
Yeah, I did. I confirmed with a smile. I didn't really want her to know. It was a wound I didn't want anyone to touch. I loved her. We loved each other, and we were even engaged. That's why I left her. That's why I was broken.
ごめんなさい。
Rain began to fall, and I opened my eyes.
泣くつもりはなかったんです。勝手に。
I could see the blue sky.
ごめんなさい。私が涙なんて流しちゃいけないんですよね。
It's a sun shower. This was the maximum level of calm I could muster. I gazed at the sky and spoke quietly, distantly. There are sun showers even in such a city.
はい。全然似合いません。
She forced herself to smile, tears overflowing from the corners of her eyes. Anyway, I'll be clinging to this bed, and beyond that, I can't stand to look at you like this.
はい。
Was that confirmation or denial? She responded and wiped the tears that had fallen from her face. It was really nice weather. Right now, I just wanted some quiet time. I'll go to sleep, but could I ask something as well?
はい。
What do you like about me? It was really bothering me. Wasn't it sympathy?
うん。
However, she looked away and pursed her lips with a She smiled like an angel.
外見と性格と音楽と結局一度も辛いとか苦しいって言わなかった強いところ。
That's perfect. She didn't love me out of sympathy. That had the totally opposite effect on me. I closed my eyes. I laughed somewhat scornfully. 「
あ
it seemed like I could only stay in bed out of spite.
遠くで子供の笑い声がする。木の葉の揺れる音。膝元で好きな人が穏やかな寝息を立てている。この世はかくも平和で、一切の不幸とは縁遠いように見えて、それでも誰もが何かを抱えている。
おやおや。
揶揄するような声に私は目を開けて顔を上げた。日村さん。
君は
久世修一の妹です。
葉山瑞希ちゃんだったか。
私のボケを無視して日村さんが正当する。
こいつ本当に寝てるの？
はい。久世さんを見下ろしてうなずく。私は出来たてのケーキを褒めてもらうように両手を彼の顔の横に広げた。暴力から派生した愛の成果です。
暴力？
何でもありません。それと座ったままですみませんです。
いや、いいんだ。
手をかざして、そこで日村さんは上半身をかがめてその手を久世さんの顔の前で振った。
驚いたな。
何がですか？
いや、こいつがここまで油断してる姿は初めて見た。
教会では見せなかったどこか子供っぽい目をして日村さんはつぶやく。そうですか。だいたいいつもこんなんだと思いますけど。
マジックとかボールペンか何か持ってないか？
Oh no.
それで何する気ですか？応援したくなっちゃいそうですけど。そこで初めて彼の意識が私に注目した気がした。
こいつの病気のこと聞いた？
はい。
ふん、そう。
間を置いて日村さんはあまりにも何気なく告げる。
君、このままそっちに行くとひどい目に遭うよ。
それは助言というよりもすぐ目の前にあるものをただ指さしているようだった。そうですね。不安はあって素直に体がこわばったけれど、でもなんとかします。
なんとかなりますとは言わないんだね。
全然違うじゃないですか。
そうだね。
そこで言葉を切って日村さんは首を振って唇を曲げた。私は不思議に思う。どうして久世さんも日村さんもそんなに普通でいられるんですか？
普通かな？
日村さんは自分の言葉に考え込んでしまう。そして隣に座り込んでしまった。なんとなく久世さんに目をやるが、彼はグースかピーピー寝ていた。
いい天気だ。
まあそうですね。木漏れ日がキラキラと輝いていた。それと草の匂い。
死に対する態度ってことだよね。
はい。平和な夏の午後、この一角だけ奇妙な静けさを保っていた。
おそらく世代差なんだろう。
世代ですか？
君たちは幼すぎて覚えていないだろうが、俺たちは子供の頃にあの震災を体験しているからね。
震災。音羽が生まれ変わる原因となった地震と大火だ。私は生まれてなかったです。
そうか。もうそんな昔の話になっちゃうのか。
日村さんが空を見上げながら優しく微笑む。
俺たちは人の死にほんの少しだけ慣れている。目の前で焼け死んだ人間や家族を失って泣いている人たちをずっと見てきたからね。ずっと。
かすかに肌寒さを覚えた。 その何気ない言葉の裏にほの暗いものを見たのは気のせいだろうか。一瞬、錯覚だと分かってはいるけれど、炎を幻視する。慣れているから怖くないんですか？
いや、逆だよ。すごく怖いんだ。どうなくなるか、どう失われていくか、残されたものの悲しみを知っているから、笑ってないと押しつぶされそうで。でもそこから街や人が這い上がってくる姿も見てきたし、だからこそ生きている時間のありがたみってやつもどちらかということじゃなくて、その両方の経験があるだけさ。
だから
久世はその中でも特にひねくれてるからな。
久世さんが彼を評価したのと同じことを言って、日村さんはにやりと唇を歪める。
カレンダー。
え？
カレンダーに自分が死ぬ日を記入できるのは人間だけだ。
日村さんは私の膝で眠る人の顔を一別した。
突然失われるよりはいいのかな。いや、本人からすると悪い冗談か。
私は何を言えばいいのだろう。
A grim thought? Yes. Yes. There are quite some dark undertones in the story about death and mortality. But at the same time, it just... I mean, Kusei is ill, for sure. But just generally, death is kind of a part of life. We're all going to die, so... let's not delude ourselves, no? Marking that on your calendar, yes, that is a little bit... it is a little bit much, but at the same time, I can empathize with him. Because I guess we as humans are kind of programmed in this way that we're like, oh yeah, we're gonna die, we're aware of it, but at the same time, we are not. Like, when asked about it, we would say that yes, we at some point we're going to die, but the way we live and act and feel in the moment, it's just, our behavior is as if we'd never die, as if days are just gonna carry on in the same rhythm, with the same routine, over and over and over again, until suddenly we're just taken by surprise. I don't like calendars, live the present, not the future. Well, I don't use them much aside from... Because presently you don't see yourself dying, yes. Like, in the present, even though maybe you don't realize in your subconscious, you're living as if you're gonna be here forever, when that's not the case. Right? And so... maybe we should all, you know, take a page out of the story and be a bit more mindful, I guess, in our actions and in our day-to-day interactions. Don't take them for granted, because you just never know when it will be the last time. But at the same time, I also don't think that's a reason to be depressed or scared or worried. I think that just adds a layer of intensity to life that routine kind of rubs away from us, in a sense. I want to be in that mindset when I'm old. I would want to live as though I won't die. I don't know if that will be a thing. I don't know. It will be great to die when not expecting it. Like, no, I understand where you're coming from. I guess that's why we're programmed to be this way, because otherwise, if we were paralyzed by the perspective of death, then we wouldn't do anything. We wouldn't achieve anything in our lives and so on. It's just a certain type of like duality, I guess, within us, of like knowing that we're gonna die and at the same time living as if we're not. But while there is a sense of, what is the proper word here? Maybe peace and enjoyment to be derived from not living with your death in mind all the time. I mean, of course, it makes sense why our mind works like this, because, like I said, otherwise we wouldn't be doing anything. We would all be just like scared and locking ourselves in the house. But I think it can also be desensitizing at some point. At some point, you might lose a little bit of touch with what makes life beautiful. And what makes it beautiful is the fact that it's fleeting. And we should do a bit of a better job at acknowledging that and enjoying things and being kind to the people around us and not dwelling on things that actually, in the grand scheme of things, don't really matter. Like, a lot of material things, they're just, yeah, they make our lives better now, and sure, some of them are essentials and tools to enable us to accomplish things, but past a certain point, like, material things are just not it. What matters is the people in your life and how you treat them and the memories you make beside them. In a way, like, we are all just little droplets in the huge ocean of time, and individually we don't really matter that much, which can be a bit of an agonizing and paralyzing thought. But at the same time, we meet each other in that huge ocean and that immense vastness of water. We just happened to be created and exist and meet at this precise moment in time, which is an amazing thought in itself. So why not just make each other smile and have just a chill, cool experience and find meaning in just being ourselves and meeting each other. I don't know, sorry, I went on a rant. Yeah, okay, that's a little bit... You're more on the pragmatic side than I am, I guess. I think people and experiences are what matter, not collection of material things. I feel like it's not comparable, but I spent quite a lot of my years just dedicating my time to the thing that had to be done at the time, which technically was for the greater good in my own life and so on. But at some point I kind of overdid it and found myself spending 4 years in a thing that started to feel more and more like a prison, because I had to dedicate all of my time and energy to it, while I really wanted to do so many other things and experience them before I got, old and decided to have maybe a kid when, then I won't have time at all and it will be all about the kid. I just wanted to live my life, and it felt agonizing in a way, knowing that I couldn't. Me starting streaming actually was just a way for me to just reach a little bit outside through the bars of that cage and be like, there is something beyond this. At some point this is going to end and I'm just gonna get to do the things I like. And now my philosophy is, I just want to invest time in work for 8 hours a day. That's it. My work is there and I am there with it for 8 hours a day, and I do my freaking best. And I think I have gotten to be quite good at what I am, even though there's still pretty much to learn. Like, there's still a lot to do, but I think I've gotten to that point where I know that no matter how difficult something is, I can do it. Eventually I will learn and I will do it, and that's it. And once that is over, I want my evenings to be mine, and I want to live them, and I want to do the things that bring me joy, even if to other people they don't seem as fulfilling. And maybe someone can look from the outside at my life and be like, why are you still at this job? You could have done this other thing that would have brought you a much higher salary and whatever. And I would be like, yeah, but also just how much of my life would that eat away? You know? And I just kind of, those 4 years kind of shifted my perspective in that sense. And I feel like I'm a little bit closer to the thing that I'm describing of appreciating life with intensity. I hope, at least I am doing my best in that direction. Oh, Beatrice is too tired for philosophy, that's okay. 8 hours a day is very generous. I think it is sick that 8 hours is a bare minimum. I don't know. I guess it also depends in some countries. I think in some Nordic countries they reduce that to 6. And it also depends on the job and what needs to be done. For some jobs, it's just, yeah, you're just there to like acto de presencia. Madcaps would say, which is, yeah, I don't find immediately an equivalent in English. Just you're there to just show that you're there or something, right? When in actuality what matters is what you achieve and not how much time you spend. And I think that's also been an improvement now, in spite of the terrible things that have happened in the past couple of years due to COVID and so on. One thing that shifted in the good direction, I believe, is this whole the stigma on working from home has kind of been lifted. I don't know if it was the same in other countries, but at least here I've kind of felt it of like, before we were allowed 2 days a month of working from home, and you had to kind of like report your each and every move and how much time you spent on stuff and so on, just like people could keep eye on you to be like, oh, you're working, good. And when we started working from home due to COVID, it was also the same. We even had like extra meetings, which is a bit paradoxical now that I think about it, but we had extra meetings during the day just to ensure that we were there doing our jobs and reporting on what we were doing. But that only lasted like a couple months because just people got sick of it. Like, it was just such a, I don't know. Those meetings was useless because we were all like with our minds still focused on the things that we had to do and the things on hand, and we were like, yeah, I'm doing this and this and this, and after we said our piece, we would just like back to clickety-clacking on whatever we were working on, not really paying attention to the meeting. So they were absolutely pointless, and in the end we shifted away from them to the point where we don't even need to register when we start work and when we finish or when we take breaks, which we still had to do then. Now it's just be available within these this time frame. If someone messages you, reply back within 30 minutes to an hour max, right? So just be around your computer or something and just do your tasks in time. That's it. And I think that's so freeing, and it's really contributed to how do I put it? I just found more enjoyment in my days, to be honest. Yeah, it's about being there at key moments. For example, I have specific meetings which have their own weight. And so you plan those, but aside from those, again, like I said, be available within certain hours, and if you're not available, just say, hey, I'm not gonna be available from here to here. And that's it. Nobody complains. It's all good. But yeah, producing results and doing your stuff is the thing that should come first and foremost. Who cares how much time you spend in front of your computer, as long as you do your work. You want to work on things you like? Yes. Yes. Yes, 100%. That's why I'm a little bit jaded with work right now, because I've been working on a thing for half a year, and it's finally kind of coming to completion, and we're just like in the last stages of it, and I hope it's done, and after that I get to move on to other things and just find a little bit of joy in that. But in the meantime, I'm just finding joy in the other things I do outside of work, to which I can now dedicate a lot more time. And no matter how useless they might seem to other people, they fulfill me. So that's nice. Ah, role model Clinton. Yes, yes, yes. Cute. All right, let's get back to this. Rant over.
迷っているうちに日村さんが草を払って立ち上がり、現れた時と同じように私たちを見下ろした。
ところでこの前は悪かったね。
この前って、あの電話ですね。
Oh, I think you're just being a little harsh on yourself. I'm pretty sure there's plenty of things to look up to you for. Oh, I could list a couple of things of which you are a great example of exactly what to be.
なんだか俺が予想してたよりひどい目に遭わせてしまったみたいだ。
いえ、むしろありがとうございました。
気が変わったら俺のこと殴りに来てくれてもいいから。それじゃ俺はこれで。
Oh, you. I like you so
真剣
much.
な顔に似合わない軽い口調で彼はきびすを返そうとする。日村さん、
何？
変なお願いなんですけど、電話の件のお返しということでいいですか？私は両手を合わせてお願いする。
Aww. Good. Keep doing that, Beatrice. Yep.
ちょっと私たちのために、神のご加護があらんことをってやってくださいな。
俺は神父でも牧師でもないんだけど。
それでも似合いますから。
No, it's just a sign of affection from our side towards you. Don't need to think of it too much. Just accept it and smile, dude. Yeah. I'm also too serious of a person, and that's actually one aspect in which I look up to you. You're super chill and don't take things seriously and have like such surprising comebacks sometimes that I wouldn't have thought of in a million years, and yet they're so simple and how do I put it? Oh man, words are escaping me. I'm sorry, I'm tired. They're so natural. That's the word I was looking for. They're so natural once you actually say them, but I never would have thought of them. And I'm just in awe of that, like, huh. How did that click in his mind, and why can't I do it too? You know, I'm a little bit envious sometimes. But that's also one of the reasons why I appreciate having you around, because it's super refreshing. You guys take me out of the echo chamber that is my own mind. And that's what I love about interacting with all kinds of people. Blushing Clinton must be super cute too.
ため息を一つついて、彼は手早く、なぜか慣れを感じさせる洗練された動作で十字を切った。
フォースと共にあらんことを。
何ですかそれ。私は思わず吹き出してしまう。日村さんは笑わなかった。
神様よりはマシさ。
It was sunset before I knew it. I slept pretty late. I tried to limber up my stiff joints and gazed at the sky. It was a splendid sunset.
足がしびれてビリビリ
Mizuki tottered to her feet. You shouldn't push it.
大丈夫で
A cramped smile was on her face as she stumbled about.
あちゃちゃ門限過ぎちゃいましたね。
Is curfew really something you're usually worried about? Well then, I put my hands in my pockets and planted my feet straight in the ground. Did I want to give? did I want to take? I had to settle my relationship with her as well. While there was still time. Right now. While I still had some reason left. What do you think you want to become in the future? It was an abrupt question. It was my final question. She didn't answer instantly like she normally would. She thought about it, then just smiled and shook her head.
まだ決めていません。でも、幸せにはなりたいですよね。
That was probably what I expected. I didn't really know. However, I had a feeling about what I was going to answer. I love you too. Perhaps that wasn't a lie. She was surprised. It wasn't something to worry or think too much about. Given the options of love and hate, there was only one answer. I couldn't bring myself to hate Mizuki Hayama. And I was also defective merchandise. So, that's why I can't respond to your feelings. Go home already. She should hurry and leave this fake city. It would be best if she woke up from this bad dream quickly and go find someone who could truly make her happy. Don't show yourself before me again. Pretty abrupt. From a slight distance from the door, I dragged my feet along from the left wall to the right wall. Like so, I drew an invisible line. I returned to the chair and took my medicine. They had prescribed even more medicine at my examination. It felt more like I was eating the pills than swallowing them with water. Life, huh? It was regretful. Humans had to draw the line somewhere. There was a limited amount you could gain, but an infinite amount to be lost. I had to make a distinction between my things and other people's things. Things you have and have not obtained should carry a distinction. That didn't just mean physical possessions. In general, the emotions of anger and sorrow were things that came from my naive way of following this line. That was my strong point. I behaved to the last moment. Everything was pardoned. I knew the line couldn't be crossed, so I didn't come close from the beginning. That was like Yuko Amamiya. She was a former classmate. It was Chihiro Shindo. Even if we were all a strange bunch, we were still incompatible existences. Although there were incredibly rare instances where someone would cross the line from the other side. At those moments, I held no mercy. Counterattack. It was that sort of line. That was the boundary.
二度と会うなーだなんて納得できません。
なんで君たちはパターンが一緒なのかな本当
つい昨日
Sorry.
なんで君たちはパターンが一緒なのかな本当に生き別れの兄弟なんじゃないのか
つい昨日の今日の日村さんがうめいた。
ところでなんで君は制服姿なんだ
腹が非常に立ってます。だから気分転換です。私は久しぶりに自分のスカート姿を見下ろした。みやこ先輩みたいにヒラヒラさせてみる。スカートの方が熱が逃げるような気がしたんですけど、何か逆にこもってる感じがして、泣きそうですよ私は。
あっそ
まるで興味がないというようにつぶやいて、彼は顔を背ける。私は気にせず彼の横顔に問う。聞きたいことがあるんですけど。
なんで君らは何かあると俺のところに来るかね
クゼさんのことを聞かせてください。
本人に聞いたらいい
それができれば苦労しません。
そういうのを頑張ってどうにかするのが努力だろう
努力しようと考えた結果、あなたに聞くのが一番早いと思いました。 日村さんが横目で私を見る。こういうところ男の人だからなのか、久世さんと似てる気がした。なんですか？
いや、そうか。本当に考えてから来たんだな。
何を感心されたのかよくわからなかったけれど、質問に答えてくれるようだ。
昨日はあんなに仲が良さそうだったのに、何があったの？
告白して OK されたら振られました。
簡潔すぎる。
日村さんの冷静な様子にだんだんと熱が下がってくる。教会という場も頭を冷やす材料になったのだろう。祈りの場、孤独の場。そして私は昨日の久世さんとの最後の会話を説明した。
つまり千尋やレンジと似たような結末を迎えたわけか。
全然似てないです。
より明確に別れを告げられたわけだ。
そんなにはっきり言われるとちょっと苦しいですけど、しょんぼり。
そのくらいの痛みで済んでよかったということじゃない。あいつは大人だ。
私も。いえ、それを言ったところで意味はない。本当に落ち着こう。天使のように祈る女性を思い出す。失礼しました。はい、全部わかってるんです。久世さんは病気ですぐに死ぬから、本気だと一緒にはなれない。そのどれか一つでも解決すればいいわけだ。私の様子に日村さんが小さく笑う。
二人ともが前向きでも苦労するんだね。
え？その言葉は意外なものだった。今の久世さんは後ろ向きっぽいと思いますけど。
久世はジョーカーだからね。
ジョーカー？また話が飛んだ。ジョーカー。
表向き軽そうに見えるし、精神的にもその通りなんだけど、もっと奥の方にいるやつがね。
やつが？
悪いやつじゃないんだけどな。えぐいというか、容赦がないっていうのか。
私はドキリとした。冷や汗のようなものが流れそうになる。別にその言葉が怖かったんじゃなくて、日村さんがひどく凄惨な眼差しで十字架を睨みつけていた。
多分あいつが一番あの男に近いんだ。あ、ごめん。
ふっと肩の力を抜いて彼が微笑む。
昨日もそうだったけど、君を見ているとつい余計なことを話してしまいそうになるな。
え？
多分子供だからだ。
子供じゃない！肯定はされなくても仕方ないが、否定はされたくなかった。
久世と本当に向き合いたかったら一つだけ覚えておくといい。あいつを信頼してもいいけど、信用はしちゃダメだよ。
どこかで同じようなことを聞いた気がした。そう、初めて久世さんと会った日に同じようなことを言われたはずだ。全く逆のことをだが。なぜですか？
あれは嘘つきだから。
嘘つき？
それだけ覚えておけばいい。君なら他には何もいらない。
それだけ。そう言われてしまえば、日村さんの話すべきことは全部済んでしまったのだろう。私も黙ったまま教会を見渡した。懐かしい匂いがする。祈りを捧げていこうか。何かのために、誰かのために。
そういえば
両手を組もうとしたところでぽつりと声が反響した。
君は養子なんだって？
ああ、久世さんと一昨日は一緒だったんですね。
ああ、ごめん。 ちょっと世間話のつもりだったというか。
How do you just make conversation with that question? What? I'm so confused.
そう言って罰が悪そうに頭をかく。
失言だ。
いいですよ別に。気にされる方が気になるので。
その気持ちもわかる。
日村さんは首を振って今度こそ本当に口を閉ざしてしまった。それではまた。ペコリと頭を下げて背を向ける。とりあえず久世さんともう一度話をしようと教会を出ることにした。ふと扉に手をかけたところで振り返って日村さんを見る。薄暗い部屋の中にキラキラとステンドグラスを透過した光が差し込んでいる。そういえば教会の関係者じゃないって言うし、働いているようには見えないし、日村優と名乗るこの人がこの町の一番の謎であることに今さら気づいた。
And then a single girl stood at the boundary.
こんにちは。
For some reason, she was wearing her uniform like the first time I met her. Did she want to patch things up? Did she want to captivate my interest that way? Was it a more trivial reason? It would make me really angry if she just wore it thinking whatever works. Unlike me, she had the potential for as much time as possible. It would have been fine if she hadn't come. I subconsciously squinted. She was cowering before the line.
久世さん。
A certain violinist went hiking on a mountain. That story started coming from my mouth for some reason. He had made this journey many times, but due to either chance or negligence, he lost his footing and fell from a cliff. And in order to protect the hands which are a musician's life, he hit his head on a rock and died. I told you not to show yourself before me again, didn't I? I was probably smiling, but my voice was so cold even I was surprised. Maybe I should have locked the front door. That was a contradiction. I was trying to do it all over again. She looked like she was going to say something, but it must not have come to mind. She shut her mouth and her eyes trembled. For a moment I wanted to accept any and everything. The boundary swayed, so I held back my emotions.
話を。
We can't.
じゃあソフトクリームでも食べに行きましょう。私のおごりで。
She spoke with a smile. I didn't respond. Nothing shook. The broken metronome just dropped its eyes on her feet. I didn't want to see her face anymore. Won't you disappear for me? A heavy silence. The time I spent with her had included some noisy and busy events, yet that silence was the most painful thing to ever reach my ears. She turned back, uttered the sound of prolonged footsteps. However, she stopped there, turned around, and crossed the line. I went from relief to losing my mind.
どうすればいいんですか？
Mizuki-chan, do you love me? I displayed no emotion as I asked. She stared blankly.
はい。
Do you really love me? I let meaning take hold in every word. She could probably guess, but she didn't know for sure.
はい。
She nodded timidly. I approached her and placed my hand on her neck. I showed no mercy in the moments to come. All I thought of was drawing her blame. Before long, she finally gave up. There was no strength remaining in her body. If I weren't supporting her, she would have fallen. Thinking this seemed like a good opportunity, I pulled back and let her drop to the floor. Mizuki Hayama stayed on the floor and cast her eyes downward. I am so confused what's happening. She looked down with an expressionless face. She must have been aware of how cold-hearted an action it was. She held herself. She just gazed down at the ground motionlessly. Compared with her usually lively self, she was like a doll. She was fully realizing I had assaulted her. My chest hurt a little. A little? My heart was throbbing violently. I thought a little about what I should do. Basically, was a finishing blow necessary? Going easy at this stage wouldn't balance well with Shuichi Kuze. Are you still here? Her shoulders shook. It spread through her whole body. It soon became a distinct trembling. Once again, tears streamed down her face. I averted my eyes like I was uninterested and absent-mindedly surveyed the room. I paid no attention. Coldly, I tried to just think of nothing. I didn't swing like a metronome. Was it just a short time? Did I do that for a long time? There was a sound of rustling clothes and she seemed to have stood up. I didn't look at her. I held my breath and waited. Was she trying to say something? There was nothing more she should say to me. Like so, I heard heavy footsteps and she left. I clenched my teeth and took it. I didn't look her in the eye to the very end. How long had I been doing that? I didn't really know much time had passed. It's over. I was overcome with some curious emotions. I had accomplished my goal. An incredibly miserable, unsightly achievement. I stood perfectly still and did nothing. It hurt. It hurt a lot. I was suffocating. I was succumbing to my emotions. I wanted to scream out, even if it was meaningless. However, I wasn't capable of that. This was my own lukewarm hell. That was when I realized it. The throbbing of my heart wasn't slowing. My spine trembled. Not good. Everything was becoming distant, at a tempo impossible for humans. It was somewhat expected, but pain ran through my body. It was still at a level where I could describe it as pain. My entire body broke into a cold sweat. I had 4 large spasms. Since I was used to it, I could keep my reason, but in exchange I was assaulted with terror of knowing what was coming next. Perhaps I could recognize this as retribution for my sins. Inside my body, the lining of my bones, there was a loud sound like a metal bat or something hitting me. Unable to even speak, it crossed beyond the realm of pain. I wanted to tear out my insides. Being unable to touch it directly was equivalent to torture. I couldn't stand up any longer. I clutched my chest and tumbled to the floor. The small bottle in my pocket with medicine specifically for my spasms. My arms were rattling so much I couldn't get it out. Even if I could manage to pull it out, I could never open the seal. The throbbing reached behind my eyeballs. Hey, Infinity N, nice to see you around. Yeah, things have been alright. I'm just a little bit on the mentally exhausted side, so tonight I'm streaming without the cam. But otherwise things are okay. I hope things are okay with you too. This was bad. It hurt. It was painful. My labored breathing wouldn't settle. The suffocating feeling continued from my respiratory system and induced more pain in my throat and temples. My heartbeat resounded in my skull at a maddening rhythm. I flew into a series of coughing fits. My vision was blurred in my tears. The bottle rolled on the floor when I managed to open the lid. I could hear it roll until it finally stopped upon hitting the wall. The medicine. It fortunately scattered across the floor. I crawled across the floor, dragging my forehead, and grabbed some with my tongue. One more pill. It tasted like dust. I gulped it down without concern. Damn it. I swore with the remainder of my reason. A placebo effect. I wanted to laugh, but I couldn't. All I could do was wait. I had to take my mind off the pain. No. My gaze, sadistic from the beginning, was truly confronting death head on. It would be better to have foolish ideas on my mind than my life flashing before my eyes. I never once thought of myself as a genius. It wasn't just unrelated to my confidence, rather, I was left smeared with an inferiority complex and jealousy. There was no roadblock to victory. That's why I never failed. There was no difference between certain victory and certain evasion of defeat. There was no difference between utmost strength and utmost weakness. Pleasure and meaningless aggression were the first steps to perishing. I couldn't believe in myself or in what was flowing there, so I was dying. The chicken race of the world, a coin, Othello, and Shakespeare. However, Zero alone was different. We are able to define extremes because there is a starting point. What was the beginning?
そういえば久世さんはどうしてバイオリンを
A reset. However, Zero alone was different. We are able to define extremes because there is a starting point. What was the beginning?
はじめまして葉山みずきと申しますみずきは全部カタカナ
Oh, Clinton. A reset. Oh man, how many times am I gonna read this? However, Zero alone was different. We are able to define extremes because there is a starting point. What was the beginning? Yes, the metronome Santa Claus gave me. I just wanted to play the violin. I just wanted to become happy. I just wanted to laugh, cry, get mad, and play. That was all. Why did things turn out this way? It hurt. Damn it. The center of my head went numb. My body squirmed unrelated to this quiet consciousness. My breathing wouldn't slow. I coughed up saliva. Beyond pain, this state could only be called an unsettling shock to a person's body. I curled up and just prayed for it to subside. Quickly. Unable to breathe, I faded in and out, and was forcibly awakened by rushes of pain. I wanted to kill, not die. If I closed my eyes, I could see it again. The death of my violin. Crying, the bottle, the cold, my violin, and my retribution at the church. Nagi in the summer, painful white, hurt. Unable to perform, the red sky, a bird, value, wow. Marcia funebre. Absent-mindedly. Amidst the medicine, I could see the button I had popped off her shirt. Was this also a dream? Oh, we found a way to buy the first volume of the manga. Congrats! Hope you enjoy your acquisition. She smiled widely at my words. I didn't need this. This painful dream. I didn't need it.
Yo, 大丈夫か?
Yeah, slap him back to reality, you.
生きてるよな?
You slapped my cheek without any sense of mercy. It hurt a lot. He'd probably hit me some more if I stayed quiet, so I sighed. Seeing your face when I wake up makes hell seem like an attractive alternative.
救急車呼ぶか?
No, I'm fine. My heart was still beating quickly, but it was a tolerable level. Besides, they'd forcibly admit me this time. More than anything, I didn't want her to realize it. And, again, I didn't die? Really, after doing that, it would have been fine if I died. I tried to wipe my mouth, but my hands were still trembling, so they weren't following my instructions. Huh.
立てるか?
No way.
危なかった?
No, it wasn't. It was lighter than before. Kimura kept me company and even kept an unfazed appearance for me. I expected my spasms to kick back up. He inspected me as we talked. Had he reached the conclusion that there was no problem? He disappeared somewhere. I just stared up at the ceiling. I was always just staring at the sky. My head hurt with no lap to lie on.
とりあえず上だけでも着替えろ。汚れてるし、風邪ひくぞ。
He pulled my outer garment over my head and tossed it aside. Come to think of it, my shirt was drenched in sweat. I could feel the cold air from the AC. I managed to pick myself up, throw off my shirt, losing who knows how many buttons, and put on some new clothes. Warm. In the meantime, you set the AC temperature higher and put the scattered pills into their bottle. Was it boredom or conscientiousness? I finally calmed down.
顔も洗ってこい。
What are you, my mother? I slapped my face and groaned. It was dry, but the traces of saliva, mucus, and tears made my skin feel rough. It would be troublesome to go all the way to the bathroom, so I washed my face at the kitchen sink. This was all I ever did. You saved me.
ああ、
He said nothing more. Ever since my third spasm, he had come every day to check up on me. Sorry.
うぬぼれるなよ。単にこの町で死なれると目覚めが悪いだけだ。
After a broad smile, he seemed to sense I was apologizing earnestly, and his expression changed.
何があったんだ？
It was a little harsh.
ん？
What are you surprised for?
いや、初めて聞いたな。
Huh? I didn't know what he meant.
お前がそういう泣き言を口にするのは、前の彼女と別れた時もそれはなかっただろう。
That's cool. Collecting coins, collecting manga, whatever makes you happy, guys. His collection suddenly ended. I guess I have a little bit of everything. Like, I don't have really big collections of things, but I have some manga. I have some volumes, not all series completed fully. But, you know, just... I never bought them necessarily with the intention to have the full series, especially with like the super long ones. But I just wanted to have like a little physical thing in honor of a series that I liked. Right? So I have that and I'm happy. I haven't bought manga in a while. I do have some volumes that I would like to get, but I'm just postponing because I'm anticipating some other costs in the near future. But once we're settled, maybe I'll buy some more. Putting games make me happy? Yeah, they make me too. Delicious food is one of the joys of life. Even though it's an ornament. Yeah, I guess so. Frugal living is a thing. I'm the kind of person who just attaches to objects though, so I do not want to move countries ever again in this life. I did it, I'm done. Never again. Now I just want to settle down in my own place and fill it up with things that make me happy. Oh, Beatrice is reading White Album. Nice. Good job. I want to plant my roots. Yes. Yes. I've always been that kind of person. I know there are people who are much happier just staying a little while in one place and moving to another, into another, into another, not really being bound somewhere. I'm not there. I want to be in a place that I call home. And have a place of my own surrounded by the things that I like, that I don't have to give up because, oh my god, I need to move again in the near future, you know? Yeah. Is that so? I stroked my face as though checking my beard and recalled what happened before I collapsed. Not so much the spasm, the cruel thing I did. It was senseless. Her saying she definitely wouldn't regret it, her indifferent conduct even with tears in her eyes. I turned those concerns into absurd fear. It was all as I expected. It went well. Ah, jeez.
まさかお前
Yeah. I did the same thing I did with the last girl.
バカか
He spat that out as though shocked, faint anger darkening his face.
本当にバカだ
I think so too. I forced a smile. That was probably an incredible mistake. She cried in my place. I wonder how I could have made those girls any happier. I was always asking myself, after all, what was it? What was mistaken? I wanted to treat them more kindly. I wanted them to smile. It always went badly. To the very end. Damn it.
お前が 100% 間違ってるわけじゃないし彼女たちが 100% 正しいわけでもない
He spoke in a light tone.
そういうのは足し算や引き算で二極化するものでもないし
Correct. Isn't that youth?
もうそんな年でもないだろう
He seemed to be gazing somewhere in the distance.
それにあえて殴ってやらない方が痛い時もある
I see. Certainly. You didn't show any mercy. He wouldn't allow me to deceive myself into thinking I was receiving retribution.
それにまあ俺はお前の
His unsociable side returned, and he looked away somewhat awkwardly.
なんでもない
Finish your sentences, man! That's right. I brought my hand to my confused heart again. Himura, I have a favor to ask. In earnest. This is my final request. See her off from this city in my place.
堤防に寄りかかって私は何度目かのため息をつく。浜辺へはあまり降りたくない。海は怖いから。それでもどうしても自分は海に惹かれる。体の内側に痛みが走った。往来でそこに触れるわけにもいかず、仕方なく太ももに手を当てる。あそこにまだしこりを感じる。他人に触れられるとああも異物感を覚えるとは思わなかった。はあ、またため息。そうやってたら何度か男の人が話しかけてきたけれど、何を言ってるかわからなくて無視した。海に遊びに来ている人たち、みんな笑っているね。男の人が今はちょっと怖かった。思い出すと泣きそうになる。まさか自分が襲われるだなんて、そんなこと夢にも思わなかった。はあ、何が間違っていたんだろう。ぼんやりと青い空を見上げる。どうしたらみんな幸せになれるんだろうね。翌日、私は千尋先輩に会おうと駅を訪れた。おばさまが一緒に遊ぼうかと言ったけど、それは断った。勘が鋭いから気づかれたくないし、顔を合わせていられなかった。レンジは、何やってるんだあいつ。まあいいけど。そんなわけでこんにちはです、千尋先輩。 元気に手を振る。
こんにちは。
はあ、今日も夏っぽく暑い日ですね。
はい、そうですね。
ネジで動いていそうな端的な口調。
今日はどうされたのですか？
いえ、特に用事があったわけではないのですが、なんとなく先輩エネルギーが不足してるんだろうなーって。
She's so cute.
はあ、
And Chihiro is as confused as ever.
気にしないでください。頭をかいて照れ笑いを浮かべる。気にされてしまうと困るから。
そういえば。
言って千尋先輩は手帳を取り出して何かを数えた。
4日前は急にお邪魔してしまって失礼しました。
ああ、いえいえ、こちらこそバタバタしてしまって。千尋先輩の相手もせずに久世さんのところに行ってしまったし。ああ、また落ち込みそう。がっくり。話題を変えよう。とりあえずレンジが来たら帰りますから。
なんでですか？
いろいろと都合の悪いことが。
喧嘩されてるとか？
そうじゃないんですけど、まあ顔を合わせたくない時期っていうのがあるかもなので、外れてもいないっす。
そうですか。
なんだか真剣な顔でつぶやいて、千尋先輩は線路を見てから私に向き直る。
私は水木ちゃんとレンジ君はお似合いだと思うのですが。
お似合いって何がですか？
恋人として。
Oh my god, Chihiro, what the hell?
はあ？あまりの不意打ちにとんでもない声を上げてしまう。もう一度脳内で言葉の意味を考えてみよう。私とレンジが恋人としてお似合い。ギャグですか？
いいえ、真面目なお話ですが。
それこそギャグの通じない受け答えをされてしまう。私は千尋先輩を見つめた。
あの日の夜、そういう会話をしていたんですよね。
あ、泊まっていった日。そうですね。
それで今日思ったんです。
ほんのわずかに空を見上げて千尋先輩が息をついた。白い喉が生めかしく動く。
多分何かが違ったら、むしろその方が良かっただろうなという可能性があったんだなって。
可能性って？
水木ちゃんとレンジ君が仲良くなって、私が久世さんと出会う世界。
ほうけてしまう。よくわからなかった。千尋先輩は苦笑しながら小首をかしげる。
そこではレンジ君と水木ちゃんはただ自然と仲良く笑っていて。
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean there needs to be a romantic relationship there.
そして久世さんが病気で死ぬことがあろうとも、そんな悲しみを私は忘れてしまえるから穏やかに生きていて。
I mean, sure, from a logical standpoint, that might seem like it might seem that rearranging the pieces that way would be more efficient and better for everybody. But is it really better? Because it just seems awkward.
そういう世界。
驚いた。そう言われてしまえばつい考えてしまい、それが 綺麗に完結した世界であ
Yeah,
るように思え
that's
て
a
しま
good
った。
description. A world of clean conclusions. Big brain moment. Yeah. That's why, sometimes don't rely on just pure logic alone and what seems to be the best and most efficient when you just purely are making logical inferences, because it leads you to places like that, which is just what? No way could that actually work.
どこで反転したのか。今が間違った世界であるように思えてしまう。
多分お姉ちゃんのことを考えていたら思いついてしまったんでしょう。
K 先輩のこと？
はい。お姉ちゃんがヒロお兄さんと結ばれていた可能性もあったんだろうなって。
Actually, I think there's great significance and symbolism in Hiro not being with either of them. Given their past and so on, he's just staying as a big brother figure in their lives that they have precious childhood memories with is just the perfect thing, I would say. That's what I think.
物語を紡ぐ彼女だからこそ、そういう可能性に目を向けるのだろうか。鏡の向こうにある幸せ。でも、
もちろんそういうこともあっただろう。
Hiro is the manga writer? Yes, you are absolutely right, Clinton. You got it right.
穏やかに千尋先輩は微笑む。
私は私でしかありません。
Names.
そこで私はありえないと思いつつ気づいてしまった。千尋先輩、もしかしてレンジとのこと？
はい、覚えています。
彼女は変わらぬ微笑みを浮かべたままあっさりと肯定した。
本当は覚えているではなく知っているですか？
どうしてですか？思わず詰め寄ってしまう。千尋先輩は居心地悪そうに困った顔をして、
お姉ちゃんとのメールや手紙のやり取りが残ってて、手帳をなくせばそれで終わると思い込んでて、すっかり忘れてました。
K 先輩が
余計なことだって返事を出したら電話がかかってきて、ものすごく叱られてしまいました。妹の幸せを願って何が悪いのよ、心配するに決まってるでしょって。半年前、私が記憶をなくした時、実はもう家に戻そうかって話もあったんです。でもお姉ちゃんが反対したんだそうです。あの子にはまだやることが残ってるからって。
らしい。うん。K 先輩らしいや。なんだかおかしくなった。
自慢のお姉ちゃんです。
千尋先輩も小さくだが笑った。
Oh, Clinton.
私は久しぶりに大きな声で笑った。
See, that's one of a perfect example of the thing that I was saying earlier about you.
自分の記憶には残らないけど、誰かの記憶には残るんですね。
はい。
何があったのか細かいところまでは分かりません。あくまでも断片的に、レンジ君と私が恋人だった時間があったんだなって、それを知っているだけなんです。
そこで笑みを消して。そう。覚えていたのに、千尋先輩はレンジに気のない演技をしていて。それでも、ダメなんですか？
わかりません。
肯定も否定もせず、千尋先輩は首を振る。
その時の自分の気持ちが本当にそれでいいのか、今の私にはわからないんです。でも、もしレンジ君と恋人だった自分がいたと思うと胸が痛くなります。そんな幸せそうな時間を過ごした自分に嫉妬してしまいます。
I'm sure Infinity N would just appreciate you giving it a try, even if you ended up not being super into it.
彼女が眼帯を示す。
この目と一緒です。
そうですか。何も言えない。多分何も言う必要がないんだって。私よりもみんな自分で分かっていて頑張っている。久世さんも嘘つきで、何でもない顔で辛いとか苦しいとか言わず。でもあれも本当なんだろうか。わからないよ。
レンジ君が来ました。
駅の入り口を見ながら千尋先輩が右目だけに動径を浮かべた。そうやって誰もが何かを抱える中で、上辺だけは穏やかな時間が過ぎていった。ふと気がつくと街がどこか華やかな空気を帯びているのを感じた。ああ、お祭りが近いんだって思い出し、そろそろなんだ。お祭り、綿菓子のような空気、ふわふわ。
あのお店美味しかった？
Alright, we're jumping into some kind of other conversation. I feel like this would be the limit for today. Let's put the save point. Hello? Okay. Okay. And then we go to top menu. Yes, that's what I wanted. Alright. Alright, I guess there should be like some sort of opening theme in the visual novel, like many other visual novels do. I think that's what Infinity N is pointing at. It's alright. It's alright. This is one thing I find incredibly refreshing about Beatrice, that she's just able to state her position about things, not necessarily bluntly, but just clearly, you know, like she's not really into that song. We get it, but it's not necessarily like a bad thing, as she's not bashing on it, right? So it's alright. She's giving your visual novel a try. I guess that's the best you can hope for. Yeah. Alright. I wish I could hang out more with you guys, but like I said, I'm tired and my brain is kind of shutting down. I don't know if I can make too much in the way of good conversation, but we can always banter in Discord on whatever topic, be it food, music, anime, cute animals, whatever. my heart grows whenever we have those little kinds of exchanges. And yeah, I feel really fortunate that I get to enjoy that with you. But yeah, sorry that in this particular instance I cannot offer more than this. This is me. This is my limit. Yeah, thank you for being there. That's you guys infuse the stream with life. Otherwise, it would just be me here reading a novel by myself. Yeah, see, exactly. Much respect. Which is actually, like, I mean, that's how things should be, right? We are all different and we don't like the same things, and someone not liking a particular thing that you are into, or maybe not liking certain aspects of it, is not necessarily personal, right? It's not like they're denigrating you or something. They're just not into that thing, and that's all right. And I feel like the way things are today in society, we've kind of strayed away from that, and we've kind of forgotten it, and we take everything personal, and everyone is offended by everything, instead of just being chill. Like, it's fine. Yeah. Which again takes me back to why I am grateful to have this little corner of the internet with chill people like you. It feels kind of like we're recovering a little bit of that sense of what should be normal but isn't really. Oh, Clinton. All right. Right. Well, then, for the moment. For the moment, I'm gonna say goodnight. Like I said, we can continue the banter in Discord. Feel free to. And I will see you again Thursday with some more of this, which is turning to be much longer than I expected it. I just noticed today when I changed the title, we're at part 8. We finished the first tale in 8 parts, but here we're not really that close to an end, even to this story. And then after that, there should be some more about Yuko, so there's plenty left to go, which is interesting because I didn't expect it to be. I kind of expected them to be more or less the same length, maybe a little bit added here due to Yuko's story, but alas, this is turning to be a bit longer, but I don't dislike it. I really love the insight into things. And also, tonight was a bit awkward. The thing Kuze did is not alright, and he's gonna have to do a lot to make up for it. Let's just put it kindly at that. I actually did not remember that if it was ever shown in the anime. It kind of slipped my mind, I guess, or out of my memory. But now I kind of like, I'm kind of upset with him. So, yeah, let's see where this goes next time. Take care. Night. Bye. Thanks for being around. And yeah, remember, we're all little tiny droplets that just happen to meet in this vast ocean of life and time. And we are fortunate for it. I believe so. Just imagine all of the things that had to come together in the universe for it to happen. So let that sink a little bit and appreciate things for what they are. Live passionately, eat good food, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time. Bye.